said I'll fight him at a catchweight, he knows what I meant by that because I've been saying it to everybody prior. I'll fight you at 154, between 147 and 154, I'll fight you. But then he says go back in the drawing board. That man don't want no part of me, man. I'm telling you, I don't want no part of me because he knows he's going to have to fight me.
I told you this was going to happen. Teofimo is basically begging for a Terence Crawford fight. Now he's claiming that Crawford is ducking him, especially after that performance you had against Jermaine Ortiz. Why would Crawford even fight you? And like Crawford said, back to the drawing board, because it's obviously some things you need to work on. And not just that, Teofimo looks small at 140. If he goes up to fight Terence Crawford at 150, Crawford does not get any credit for being Teofimo. The same people that are asking for this fight is the same people that are going to criticize Crawford when he beats him. Because Teofimo looks like a 135-pounder that can't control his eating habits, so he got to go to 140. And I like Teofimo, but he showed major flaws against Sandor Martin and against Jermaine Ortiz. And not to mention, he lost to a lower-level fighter in Kambosos. And you can say what you want about Crawford. His resume sucks or whatever. But I can tell you one thing. There's never been a doubt that Crawford won all his fights. And we cannot say the same thing about Teo, who was clout chasing. No way Crawford is ducking you if you're at 140 and he's at 147, moving to 154. The bottom line is this. Teo has nothing to offer Crawford. He has no titles at 147 and 154. He's not a big draw. I heard his last fight, it was almost empty in there. So what does he have to offer Crawford? In Crawford's words, he has a few fights left. And things he's looking for is big money fights with titles. Teofimo has a 140-pound title, which Terence Crawford was undisputed at 140 at one time. But now Crawford's in the Canelo sweepstakes. So I expect him to fight at 154 and 160 before he takes on Canelo. And that doesn't include fighting a little 140-pounder in Teofimo, who is clout chasing and talking about a fight that he knows is not going to happen. What he needs to do is avenge his losses from Kambosos or fight Jermaine Ortiz again because the last fight was controversial. Everybody was looking for Canelo Alvarez's big announcement. Real big announcement, right? He didn't name an opponent. But Canelo has declared that his next opponent at May 4th will be American. So that leaves out Jaime Munguia, the fight we was hoping for. And it opens the door for 3 possible opponents. The first one is Jamal Charlo, the original fight that everybody thought was going to happen in May. The second opponent is Terence Bud Crawford, who is training with a super middleweight right now at this moment. And then you got David Benavidez, the fight that everybody wants to see, who is ranked number 1 by the WBC for the past 2 years. In my prior video, Rick Glazer said that Canelo's gonna leave the PBC and fight Jaime Munguia. Now that didn't come to pass right now. We still got 2 weeks to go. Maybe things change. Like I told you before, the boxing landscape changes all the time. So I'm not gonna get on Rick Glazer at this moment. But Ring TV, Michael Benson, both said the fight that's gonna happen May 4th is Jamal Charlo against Canelo Alvarez. A fight that nobody wants to see. And I'm still hoping in 2 weeks, Canelo will say, well, I'm gonna fight Benavidez and get him out of here. But the odds-on favorite right now is Jamal Charlo. I would take a Bud Crawford fight over Jamal Charlo. And you know I'm not high on that fight. Over a Jamal Charlo, who's had 1 fight in 2.5 years, and that was against a blown-up welterweight in Jose Benavidez. And he couldn't even knock him out. What is he going to do against Canelo Alvarez, who has one of the best chins in boxing? So I guess I will ask the same question Coach Malachi asked earlier. Who you think will be Canelo's next opponent? Leave your thoughts in comments below. Jay Beasy, I'm gone.